Hello there and welcome. Writing at a university can sometimes feel like you're learning a whole new language. But what if I told you it's not some kind of magic? It's actually a process, a professional process that, believe it or not, anyone can learn. So today, we're going to walk through the 8 stages that will make your academic writing clear, logical, and honestly, a whole lot easier. Let's get started. So, if you're a new student, and especially if English isn't your first language, writing a university paper can feel, well, really difficult. It's a huge challenge, and it is totally normal to feel a bit overwhelmed by it all. You are definitely not alone in feeling that way. But here's the good news. There really is a solution, and it's all about having a system. By following a clear, professional process, kind of like the ones used in big companies, we can make this whole thing feel much more simple and manageable. Okay, so let's start right at the beginning. The first part of our process is all about building a really strong foundation. This is the stuff you do before you even think about writing your first sentence. It's all about the plan. Stage 1 is all about knowing the rules of the game. Before you write a single word, you just need to answer 3 pretty simple questions. Think of it like a checklist to make sure you're starting on the right path. First up, who is your audience? Well, it's your professor, and that tells you that you need to use formal academic English. Simple. Second, what's your purpose? Are you trying to persuade your professor to agree with you, or are you just trying to inform them about a topic? And third, what is the genre? That just means the type of paper. You see, an essay is totally different from a lab report. Knowing these 3 things is your first and most important step. All right, on to stage 2, finding your focus. My best advice here is to read your assignment instructions, your prompt, at least 2 times. You really want to look closely to find the specific problem your professor is asking you to solve. So, for example, let's say the prompt asks you to analyze the impact of social media on teenagers. Your topic isn't just social media. No way, that's way too big. Your specific focus is the impact on a very specific group, teenagers. Getting that focus right makes everything that comes next so much easier. Now, let's talk about what might be the most powerful tool in this whole process, the Fishbone Mind Map. This is actually a tool used by experts in big companies to brainstorm ideas and solve problems. And we're going to use it to get all of our ideas organized so our final paper is logical and not just a big mess. And what's really cool about this tool is just how simple it is. As you can see, it kind of looks like the skeleton of a fish, right? Well, the head of the fish, that's your main research question. The big bones that come off the spine, the ribs, those are your main categories or main ideas. And all those little small bones, that's where you're going to put your evidence and all your details. Okay, so once your fishbone diagram is full of all your great ideas, we move to stage 4. I like to call this the rule of 3. You see, academic papers are always strongest when they're really focused. So you're going to look at all the ribs you brainstormed and choose the 3 most important ones. These 3 subtopics, they're going to become the very core of your paper. That's right, just 3. Not 5, not 7. The magic number is 3. It's such a simple rule, but it is so powerful for keeping your writing focused and strong. Just try to remember that number when you plan your paper. Let's hop back to our social media example. From all the ideas you might have brainstormed, you could choose these 3 main bones to focus on. 1, the impact on mental health. 2, the effect on academic performance. And 3, the risks to physical safety. See how focused and clear that is? Great. So we've got our foundation, we've got our plan. Now it's time to shift gears and move into the second part of our process, taking action and actually building the paper. Stage 5 is where the real magic starts to happen. You take that fishbone mind map with your 3 chosen topics, and you turn it into a simple outline. This outline becomes your map. It's going to guide you through the whole writing process, telling you exactly where to go from the introduction to your body paragraphs, all the way to the conclusion. And for your body paragraphs, here's a simple little formula you can use every single time. It's called TEEL. First, you have T for your topic sentence. That's one sentence that states the main idea of the paragraph. Then E for explain. You explain that idea a little more. The next E is for evidence. You give some proof from your research to support your point. And finally, L is for link. You link it all back to your main argument. It's like a recipe for a perfect paragraph. Now it's time for stage 6, research. When you're reading articles, don't just read them. Be an active reader. Write notes in the margins, highlight things. And this is really important, use a library log sheet. Every single time you find a useful source, write down the author, the title, the URL. Trust me, this will save you so much time later on. Okay, stage 7 is writing that first draft. And the key word here is first. This is just your rough version. Its only job is to get your ideas from your outline down onto the page. Don't worry about perfect grammar. Don't worry about spelling. Just write. Just follow your map. And finally, we've made it to stage 8. This is probably the most important stage for getting a great grade. Review and edit. Remember, a first draft is never the final draft. A great tip is to read your paper out loud. I know, it sounds strange, but you will actually hear the sentences that don't sound right. And please use the Writing Center at your university. They have experts there who can help you check your ideas and your flow for free. It's an amazing resource. So there you have it. We've gone from a big, scary assignment to a clear, step-by-step process. When you follow these stages, it really takes the fear out of writing. It replaces it with structure, with control, and you know what? Eventually, with confidence. And remember, this isn't just about finishing one paper. It's about building a skill that's going to help you for your entire time at university. The more you practice this 8-stage process, the more your confidence as a writer is going to grow. You're actually learning to write like a professional. So, as we wrap up, I just want you to think about this for a second. Looking back at these 8 stages we talked about, from understanding the rules all the way to visiting the Writing Center, which one of those stages do you think is going to help you the most on your next assignment? Thanks so much for joining me today.